There we go.
I got it, Naya. I got mission baby.
I tried to get all my kids in bed before this, and I looked at the time, and I was like 8:56. Nope, bath time. We're just going to have to wait till after this is over. What happened? What happened? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't even know exactly how I see who's everyone's on here, but I was going to go over just some formalities, and I don't know everything about Zoom. So, Erin, if you know more, please chime in on Zoom. I just know that they have really helped me a lot to build my relationship with others, to build my belief, because you're on other people that, you know, love plexus just like you do, that are hungry for knowledge about anything that they can get, whether it be plexus or business wise. And so a lot of times we'll do Zoom calls to further our knowledge, which is, I think Sarah and Megan were the two leaders that we have that schedule quite a few Zoom calls, one on Monday, one on Wednesday. It hasn't been very consecutive since conference, but I think they're going to get back into it. So we will always post on our team pages when there is a Zoom call coming up. And I always tell people, get on if you can. Even if you can't sit here and look at them talk, you can always, you know, take your picture off like Erin and Christina have right now. If you guys look at those, you can take your picture off. You can swipe it over. Always try to make sure you mute yourself, which if you touch somewhere in your screen, usually a button will come up that shows a little microphone. You can mute yourself as soon as you get on. That way you don't hear you unless you have a question, and then you can unmute yourself. And usually in those trainings, what happens is on the Zoom call, you'll get a little bit of information that introduce themselves, that introduce the person that's going to be coming in to give the guest speaker, I guess, for the night. And then at the end, they open it up for questions, and that's when you'd unmute yourself. There's also a little button on the bottom that says chat, that if you have questions during the call that you're watching, you can always just click on that chat button and you can type information in there. Sometimes people are super talkative throughout the meetings, and sometimes not quite so much. So if you ever want to see what's going on, you can click on that chat button and it'll come up on the side, anything that has been said. In case you come into a meeting late, I do that a lot. I remember last year I was at a lot of basketball games till late and the meetings had already started, so I'd get in 20 minutes late and just jump in there and look at the chat and see what's been talked about already. And sometimes we'll use Zoom calls like today. Wesley and Angie had a fantastic power hour. I joined them in that. So sometimes you use Zoom calls as power hour. And I love, you know, at first I was like, gosh, I don't really want to make time for that. I just want to do it on my own time. But one thing I noticed is when I sat down to do Zoom calls on my own time, I got a lot more sidetracked. I'd be like, oh, the dishes need to be done, or oh, someone didn't respond yet. I don't know who I'm going to reach out to. My mind's going like 24/7, you know, so I get off on something else. And with the Zoom calls, which we're going to do a little bit of tonight, that they sit down and do a power hour, you stay more focused because you're going apart for a little bit, reaching out to people, and then you're coming back together again, meeting, talking for a little bit about how that went, conversing, building that relationship, maybe getting some ideas, maybe someone reached back to you and you're not sure what to say back. So there's a lot of good things that can go on when you do those power hours in a group. At least for me, I found those very beneficial when I can make time for those. And so tonight we're going to do something like that. And I also want to just open it up to any questions. If you guys have any questions that we've talked about so far, anything you might be struggling with, this is a time where we can kind of see each other face to face and just be strong for each other and help each other out. Because by all means, I don't have all the answers. I'm just giving you guys the information and knowledge I have. Same with Angie and Ann. I learn a lot from my own ambassadors when they come to me and tell me certain things. And I know I had one ambassador give a whole Zoom call to one of our groups, our group chat meeting about 4 or 5 months ago on ease. I didn't know half that stuff, and she had done all this research and watched all these different YouTube videos on the doctor that we have that had formulated ease. It was awesome information. So like I said, I don't have all the information, but we can use these to gain more information. So the first thing I want to do, though, we're going to do a little bit of reach outs. So hopefully everyone brought their Frank's list. And this is a great time. I know last night I gave you guys the assignment to reach out to 3 people on each of those levels, the F, the R, the A, the N, and the K. So that's 15 people total. And I want you guys to do the same thing tonight. And if you did not complete everything because maybe things got too busy or you had, church or family time, completely okay. That should be a whole nother training because you do need to schedule time for yourself because unfortunately we're not like a 9-to-5 job. I mean, that's fortunate and unfortunate. You can't just, work for those hours and then you go home and you tend to family. This business, we have people calling us or messaging us all the time. And since we love to help and we're trying to build a business, it weighs on you if you don't reach back out to them. But if you don't set time for yourself too, that can cause a lot of stress. Even though we don't have to make certain hours for ourselves. Like I said, we do want to help people. We want to be there for them, but it can be at any hour of the day. So you got to make sure you set some time for yourself. But that's, like I said, that's a whole other training. Hey guys, shh. So right now, we are going to spend a little bit of time reaching out to people. Now, before we do that, I want to see if anyone has any questions for about 5 minutes, see if anyone has any questions. I would like to start, before we do reach outs, with a prayer. I always start with a prayer. If you don't want to be a part of it, you can mute me for a minute. But I find it really beneficial, and I find my mind works a lot more on point in connecting with the people that I feel the Spirit is touching me with are ready to, 1, hear about plexus, and 2, might need some help, maybe not even know what plexus is. So I found that super beneficial. I also do it when I'm reaching out to people about the business, not just the products. I think about people that could use the business and people that could, which is just about everybody that can benefit from extra income, but that can benefit from being a part of something. Because as you know, plexus isn't just about the money. We are a strong connection and network of individuals that I found a super strong connection with people. When I went in thinking I didn't really want any, didn't have time for connections with people, I found a really solid base of awesome people. Half of them are on here tonight. So we could just start with a little prayer, and then we'll open up with questions, and then we'll spend the next 10 minutes reaching out to people. We'll come back and maybe do a little bit more of questions that you guys might have, or if people reached out to you, some feedback you guys might have from reach outs or anything like that, and then we'll just call it an evening. I just wanted you guys to be kind of aware of how to work the Zoom calls. Once you know that we will post them on team pages so that you guys can come in and hear the information or do the power hours, and then also complete your assignment. Your assignment for tonight, if you're live, is to do your reach outs. And if you are not live and you're going to watch this recorded, then it's to do more reach outs. Again, you just won't have the benefit of the question and answer to be able to ask questions at the time. You can always reach out to us at any time. So let's go ahead and say a quick prayer. Dear kind and gracious Father in heaven, we thank thee for this opportunity to be in an amazing organization, to be able to better our health and to be able to spread the word of plexus with others and to help strengthen others in their journey of health as well. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you please be with all of us tonight as we reach out to those that may be in need of plexus for their health, may know of a family member that may need plexus to help them in their health. We ask that you please help us to be enlightened in our mind and in our hearts of those that are interested in the business, that are needing the business at this time in their lives. We ask that you please help us to be quick in the mind and in the tongue, and be able to know what we are to say to these people in order to have their hearts and minds open. We thank thee so very much for this opportunity, and we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. Well, I'm going to mute myself, and we're going to have 10 minutes right now. We'll reach out, and then we'll come back together in 10 minutes. I'll set my timer. Okay, that has been 10 minutes. Usually in the power hour, what will happen is you'll come back together a couple times, discuss some things, and then you will go back into about 15 minutes of reach outs at a time. But for the sake of time and just really what we're trying to do is get you used to the Zoom and using the Zoom, knowing how that works, why we use it. That was what I wanted you guys to do today because I love Zoom. It's one of my absolute favorite things to use to connect with people because sometimes when you're sitting in your house and you don't, I mean, even though I have a lot of plexus people in Hayes, there's not a whole lot that I hang out with every day. I really just work and kids every day. And so it's nice to have that strength. It really is to come together and to know people that are working the same way, have highs, have lows in the business, have questions about products, have knowledge about products of questions that you might have. So this is a great place to do that with relationships within the organization. So I'm just going to open it up and see if anyone has questions. I don't even know who's on here because sometimes I can't check. I mean, it says 2 participants, but I see maybe just me and Christina.
That's it. I think it's just the two of us.
Okay. So I don't know if you have any questions about anything, but sometimes I do because sometimes on these Zooms you can do them on your phone and you can do them on your computer. I'm just talking right now since it's recorded and I'll redo it again. So you can do it on your phone, you can do it on your computer. Look, there's Cassie. Say hi. Say hi. But I didn't really know how to get on with my computer for the longest time. So you have to put in the ID number. Is that what you did? Or you have to go back into their meeting and click on the thing? Do you know, Christine, did you have problems getting on Zoom ever?
No, I've done it on my phone and on my iPad. I've actually never done it on a computer.
Oh, well, and this was the first time I recorded it, so I don't even know how to make it live. I mean, put it in as hopefully it works. We'll see. I'll ask Wesley or someone else if I don't know. But if there's any questions you guys have after you do your reach out, please reach out to me or Christina or Angie or Ann or your upline, whoever it is that you want to reach out to. I know today, and they recorded it in Angie and Wesley's Power Hour. They had some great info on things to say to reach out. And they actually said the first reach outs they did were, well, I can't remember the order, but one was just building relationships, which we talked about, just reaching out saying, hey, I saw your post. How's your daughter doing in gymnastics? Or how was your trip? I just reached out to a couple people today because they went to Disney World not too long ago, and I reached out to say, how was your trip to Disney World and what did you do? And she's going to actually help me because I've never been. So she's going to help me plan out what to do. So form that relationship that way. And she's not on products. Hopefully someday she will be. But so there was part of the Power Hour was doing that. Part of it was reaching out about they were having is that tomorrow you guys have an online event? So another 15 minutes was reaching out for that online event, inviting people. And a lot of times that can be a scripted thing and you can copy and paste and change names and add a few things here and there, which I did. I'm not doing that event, but I did that when they did that with some other things that I was doing. And then when you talk about promotions or you talk to people that maybe you've already sent them a few messages, sometimes it's really good to voice message because they can hear that excitement in your voice. And we talked about when you get yourself motivated, you get yourself excited, and then you get on the phone, that's contagious. They want to know what you have when you have that. So you might want to be discerning when you decide how you're going to reach out to someone during the reach outs. And you also, some people may not have Facebook or may not check it very often. You might have to message them on the phone or call them on the phone, or some people might want to be face to face. So discerning that with the people that you're working with is really important too. So that's all I have tonight. Did you have anything you wanted to add? No. Okay, well then thanks for joining. It was great to see your beautiful face tonight.
You as well.
Thanks. Okay, we'll see you later then.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.